Also in OneHome and Matrix when you're on a platform. So from an agent standpoint, they get to see that from a rate plug. They also get down payment resources. And so is there some other areas that they can help and what programs can be able to do that? And so both the agent gets to see it on the Matrix side when they see a property, and the consumer can see that on the consumer side, and keeping that consumer engaged with the agent if they need that information.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Triangle Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Fagioli, here with Executive Director Matt Fowler. And our special guest today is Kevin Greene from, you can see over his left shoulder, CoreLogic. What's happening, man?
Thanks, Matt. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to a fun conversation.
Absolutely. Well, I know Mr. Fowler has lots to share, and I know you'd hope you do too, about the status of choice with CoreLogic and cool new things coming down the road. And so with that, I'll turn it over to you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. And thanks for joining us today, Kevin. We are right at the end of our trial period that's been open since November for people to try different MLS platforms. In the Triangle, they've been using, it's okay to say they were forced to use Paragon for the last 9.5 years without really having any choice in the matter. And we didn't think that was the right thing to do. I'm a recovering real estate appraiser and ran a software company for a long time. I don't know how that makes, my group the best people to pick what software a broker should use to communicate with their customers. I'd really rather the broker make that choice. So we've put a system together. I was telling my people the other day, sort of like the Tim Dane did up in North Star. If you go to northstarmls.com and you look at their landing page, they offer the same three choices that we offer here in Triangle. So while this is a new idea, it's not a unique idea to offer a choice. And we're really thrilled that the largest platform in the country that more real estate agents use than any other is now available on the dashboard at Triangle for anybody who wants to go and see what CoreLogic's all about. So for people that are trying to, still make up their mind here, this is a really timely podcast. This is coming out right before they'll have the deadline to do that. So why should they choose Matrix in this platform, Kevin?
Thanks, Matt. I think the big thing, as you said, we do have over 1 million, well, actually it's 1.1 million agents that are on Matrix, and we have over 1.2 million agents that are on Realist, as well as we have the sixth now best portal, real estate portal that's invite only in OneHome as far as the client connect piece, and the number one native app in MLS Touch. And so really excited to be able to offer what we call like the Matrix ecosystem in there, of having such a great property record database and Realist, a native app that's actually two apps. You have that consumer facing app that you can brand and share yourself and share with your consumer, but also access Matrix and add, edit, and change things and look up property records all on your mobile device, as well as the number one platform in Matrix as far as searching for properties.
Let me see if I can break that down. You said, I think there were 4 products in there. Let me see if I can break that down for the users. So Matrix is flagship, right? So if you're setting up your searches, you're putting in your contacts to drip market out to them, you're going in to do a CMA or to, do searches for a neighborhood or look at a neighborhood information, that's all inside Matrix. That's subscriber facing. You would use that instead of historically what people have used for Paragon.
Absolutely. So that's I walk through that in those phases. So, most people are starting their day and wanting to look at the hot sheet. They're going to go and turn on Matrix and see that. They're going to get a nice overview of a neighborhood, as you said, but if they want to get that really deep down into that property insights, they're going to go and open up Realist and get that good tax data and understand really what's going on in the different areas, what floodplains are, all of that information, really deep down into Realist. Once they set up those drip marketing campaigns and all of that stuff, that's going to go out to their consumer and they're going to get that OneHome experience. We built OneHome consumer first, and we're seeing really good consumer engagement on there. As I have the latest stats up at the end of March, and we are the 6th most trafficked real estate portal out there, with the average time of just under 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 57 seconds that a consumer is spending on there. The only one that is spending more time is that one that everybody, rhymes with Millo. And going through there. So we're really keeping that agent at the center of the transaction with that consumer and not trying to lose them to a different portal out there. And
Yeah,
then,
that's, I'm a big fan of OneHome, Kevin. I want to go back just a second because I want you to talk about a couple of integrations in Realist. Like Realist is this just comprehensive. It starts with public records, but there's a lot more than just public records in there. I know there's a rate plug integration where you can see whether an existing mortgage on a property for sale is assumable. I mean, that's extremely timely information in a market like this. Maybe describe some of those integrations and what you'd actually see in it Realist when you use it.
so that's actually in OneHome. And so that's what's great about it. It's also in OneHome and Matrix when you're on a platform. So you get, from an agent standpoint, they get to see that from a rate plug. They also get down payment resources. And so is there some other areas that can help and what programs can be able to do that? And so both the agent gets to see it on the Matrix side when they see a property, and the consumer can see that on the consumer side, and keeping that, consumer engaged with the agent if they need that information.
So that's in OneHome. Okay, that's even better with OneHome because I mean, talking to the consumers, the buyers who are thinking about these properties with the affordability rate so low, and now we have this conversation about buyer agency relationship. It's just so important that we lean into the consumer experience. I think that the down payment resource is somebody we worked with for a long time. That's a fantastic resource. The property might actually cost less for that buyer if they meet, an income threshold, or they work in a certain job type. And our subscribers introducing a buyer to that, is providing some really material information about their ability to buy a property, something they're not going to have if they go directly to the seller, if they go into some other place that might be out there where they don't have that professional representation.
Absolutely. And with inventory being what it is right now and interest rates being what they are right now, it's never been a better time to be able to offer those types of services.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe a little bit about OneHome. We were talking before the call started. So I'm going into Matrix. I've got my property search set up. I've got my shape drawn and the customer's email address put in there, and it drops the emails out to them when something happens in that space. What's it like when a consumer gets that email, and what happens after that?
Well, there's two things. First off, the other thing that you can set up, and we call it brand and share. And so, yes, there is a standardized Matrix OneHome look and feel, and it's great. But you have the ability to go in there and put your own branding. And so the email is sent to the consumer. It has your logo, it has your team logo, it has your colors. We already preloaded up all the major brands, and so they're all there. And so they get an email that's branded for you and promotes you, the realtor, in that. And then when they open it up, it goes to a great experience. It's also branded for you to be able to have that. And so they're being able to see and interact with that kind of information that they need. It's not a standardized IDX website. There are other fields and functionality that they feel like they get a little peek inside the MLS system because they are working directly with you. And they can't go to onehome.com and be able to access that. It's agent invite only. And so they really want to interact directly with you, and whatever they're directly favoriting or looking at, you get to have a little insight into that. And all of that insight is not only shown to you on your OneHome app that you get to access to your OneHome dashboard, but it's also on your Matrix dashboard. We have a nice little timeline feature that lets you know when you access Matrix, hey, Matt Fowler just checked out this property on 123 Main Street and favorited it. You might want to go contact him. And so it really starts to prompt you to be able to do that and work with you. So really excited about that.
Yeah, that's a cool integration, and that's on the Matrix dashboard when they log in.
Correct.
I guess those products are all wrapped up as part of the ecosystem you described it. I'm just thinking about the time this podcast is going to come out, Kevin. So if they go out and they click the Try Matrix button, they're going to get their Matrix authentication. And we've got all that worked out. It's automatic, and they just flow right into Matrix. They also have these other products. They would want to then go download the app. How would you set that up if you're going to step in steps?
The products that automatically come when you look at and actually get onto Matrix is Matrix, Realist, and OneHome. All of that is all pre-done. You do need to go download the MLS Touch app, and we'll have that on the dashboard that will show you where to click and being able to do that. The neat thing, as I said, on the MLS Touch app, it's actually two pieces. It's that agent only, and you'll identify as the agent, which then gets you access to Matrix and being able to look at everything like that. Or that's when I talked about the brand and share. you can actually, when you do the branding, you can share that app with a consumer, and they could actually have access on the OneHome from an app standpoint and have complete look and feel from you. So yes, they have to actually download and being able to do that, but that is on the dashboard to be able to manage.
Yeah, I think we have instructions for that too. Just, to make sure people who are trying Matrix get to see everything. That was the MLS Touch app that they would need to go get. And all of that's described, as you said, on the dashboard.
Yes.
That's cool. All right. Anything coming down the pike we should know about for later this summer or fall from CoreLogic?
Well, one, as I said, we're always tightening up that ecosystem, making sure it's easier to work for in your workflow. And we will be branding and changing the look and feel a little bit on the app. You should be getting that actually this summer. But the next on is our OneHomeowner product, which is then that's what we've all talked about as far as inside the ecosystem is, to help them buy or sell a property. The next part is what do you do for the 5 to 7 years when a consumer is out there, not buying and selling property, yet you want to stay in front of them. And so that's the other piece of helping you do that. And then when they start engaging, getting you on that timeline that we mentioned, Matrix. So the next thing you know, you wake up and you're looking at your hot sheet and you got your coffee in your hand. The next thing you know, Matt Fowler's been looking at property again. And I think it might be time to engage with Matt and being able to do that. So really excited about that and really helping the agent again keep the consumer at the center of the transaction and continually engage with the agent.
That's fantastic, Kevin. I think, there's a lot of people trying to do that in that space, trying to keep that contact open after the sale. My response to that, hearing about another one, isn't, oh my gosh, there's another one. It's like, I don't know how consumers, like what door they're going to want to walk back through. So the answer is like both and. We should just provide them, throw it out there, and they'll walk back through one of these doors, hopefully. And we have kind of like a home inspection community trying to do that with that kind of product. But people are in here looking at the houses that are for sale on their street after the sale, CMAs, that come in about their house. I think some of those really have some legs. We'll see where that goes. But it's cool.
No, they really do. And I think that's the important thing of how we built OneHome. We built OneHome about 3.5 years ago. And we built it consumer first, and we're continually to add consumer first products to it. And the engagement scores that we're seeing is showing that. And so that's the idea is hopefully, when they're ready to re-engage, where they're going to want to go is back to that great experience that they were having within OneHome and being able to do that. So dripping stuff to keep them engaged during the off season per se, and they're ready to come back. Where are they going to want to come back and that great experience they had with Matt Fowler as their agent? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're doing it under the Matt Fowler brand still, and it's got, it's recognizable with all of the other communication that you send out to them. So that's CoreLogic, empowering that consumer relationship. I think ultimately that's the most important thing. We talk a lot about member tools, but it's the consumer that actually pays us all.
Yes.
So Kevin, that was great, man. I hope we get to see you again on the Triangle podcast, and we'll talk a lot more about what CoreLogic is offering coming up.
Thanks, Matt and Matt, for your time. Really appreciate it.